So I'm a little bit of an older generation, and having seen things come and go, I can tell you this much, as far as my beliefs, as far as blockchain and cryptocurrency. It won't really take off until you can make it easily accessible and usable by the masses. And that's why VHS took off. It was inexpensive and it was easy to use for the masses. And if you guys remember the first VHS machines, they were huge,
almost like
honking
a washing machine.
Yeah, but they were easily accessible. They were cheap to manufacture, and so were the cassettes that were used. And that's what made it accessible, and that's why VHS took off way faster than Beta, because Beta was more expensive because it had better quality. Now, I see the same thing with cryptocurrency. I don't see just spending a whole week of trying to figure things out. I don't see the grocery store clerk that's just trying to pay for her single parent household and get her child to school every day. They're not going to have the time to go in and dig and figure things out. And it's got to be easily accessible and manageable for the masses before it'll actually really be ingrained in our society. Now, a generation could move away and the new generation can grow up using cryptocurrency, and it's just second nature, just like YouTube is for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just second nature. It's, hey, I'm on YouTube, I'm on social media. But we've moved through that old generation.
Became the norm.
Yeah, my mom totally doesn't understand what I do. She can't wrap her mind around the fact that I do live video. I'm speaking to people across the country. JT, where do you live?
Texas.
Yeah.
I'm in California. Gore, you're in California, but Gore's 2.5, 3 hours away from me.
Right.
She can't wrap her mind around it. When I try to tell her, well, hey, I'm doing social media for a company, and I'm putting together these videos and these graphics, she has no idea. She gets lost. But my mom's 80, and I think that once you go through a generation that has lived with it every day, then it's not a learning curve. It's just the way things are. I think that's when cryptocurrency can really, really take off, and blockchain. But I do see the potential, because it isn't just, and I agree with JT, it's not just a value holding system. It's so much more. But you've got to get people to understand how it works and how deep the dive goes before you can really use its potential, and before it can really be something that is an everyday occurrence in our lifestyle. And that's just how I see it. That's just my opinion.
You're honestly, if I can, JT, if I could real quick make a point. I honestly agree with you, David. You made multiple points. Number one, currently at this stage, I think cryptocurrency is not easily understood as far as when you try to get information about it. And that's normal, because it's totally new. The more time passes, the more simplified it'll get, and like David said, the more people grow up with it, it becomes second nature. That this is true. If you want to fast forward that process, you need to make the learning curve more basic, more accessible, so you can get the masses adapted and start using it. And like you said, David, the second great point you made, just like the VHS tape transition happened simply because the masses adapted it. There is no way that the main masses, majority of the people, are going to adapt the cryptocurrency being at the current stage, because it's just too complicated to consume and understand and commit. But what's happening is, like this conversation, if we said 3-4 years ago, we would have been sitting at the NBC, CSBC studios and things like that right now, simply because back in the days we didn't know what the future was holding, specifically on the Ethereum. We couldn't talk about NFTs. We didn't even know what NFT is, or it could be possible. So just by NFT becoming part of reality, that's a simple but massive important step towards the right direction, where that masses now can at least put us, like, let's say, some portion of the masses can come in and create NFTs and actually get an actual value out of the cryptocurrency, other than being a place where you invest and try to make money out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what to make my finish up my point is, I think what crypto market needs is making more options like NFTs or more NFTs, so it could be adapted by the masses. Once it's adapted, it's used, it'll be unstoppable, and I think Bitcoin will hit 1 million at that point. Go ahead, JT, please.
Yeah, no. I'm agreeing with both of what you guys are saying. I think that there are still multiple stages that you're going to see it go through, cryptocurrency go through, before we see mass adoption. First is accessibility, like you guys are speaking to. We need to make it easier for people to be able to utilize and also understand, because it is kind of, there are a lot of ins and outs as to what cryptocurrency means, and actually being able to break down and digest all of the different use cases and reasoning behind what is happening in cryptocurrency right now with NFTs. We're seeing all of these different ways that NFTs can be used. They come into many forms. It's not just, artwork. We're seeing collectibles. You see NBA Top Shots. It's getting more and more popular. And speaking to, using cryptocurrency as a way to hold value, people are buying Dogecoin right now because it seems accessible. People see Dogecoin, especially whenever it was at like even lower than what it is now, at like 10, 15 cents. And people are like, well, it just seems like a much easier thing to get into. I could buy, several hundred Dogecoin whenever I would be buying 0.000001 Bitcoin. So they feel like something like that is easier to actually see what you're investing in and what you're buying. But again, it's all speculative, and we're seeing kind of a frenzy right now of people that want to get involved so that they can get in early, when it's distinctly possible that they could have actually missed the boat. And who knows? But I'm not going to say whether or not it's a bad time to invest in Dogecoin. I don't honestly know whether Doge has stopped, or if it's going to continue rising from where it is at this very moment. But I will say that it's important to recognize all of the different use cases of the blockchain and what it is going to be used for in the very near future. You're seeing people discuss using it to be able to store people's, PHI and healthcare, to be able to create more security there, so that if somebody did hack into a hospital's database, that they wouldn't have access to everyone's,
that would be horrible,
private records. And it does happen. It has happened. And it's important that we have better security in place. And the blockchain is a very easy way to set up better security protocol to keep things like that from happening in the future. I believe that blockchain technology will definitely be important for banking in the future. And going back to what we were talking about with Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, they were just discussing cryptocurrency as a way to hold value. And if you guys know about Warren Buffett, he's not a huge fan of gold in general. And I think he's seeing cryptocurrency as gold.
Digital gold.
Digital gold.
Yeah.
So that's why he's not a huge fan of cryptocurrency. I don't think that he's looking at it from the perspective that there are hundreds and thousands of ways that blockchain technology is going to revolutionize many industries.